Hello everyone and welcome to my new video on building a stake pool on the now Shelley Mainnet Candidate. So it's going to be Cardano-node 1.15.1. It's very exciting stuff. We are getting very close to the launch. It's less than 3 weeks now. So as I said before, we're going to be using some scripts from the Cardano community now, and it's an amazing tool set. If anyone followed my previous video on building a stake pool like from scratch all manually, you'll really appreciate the tool set that the Cardano community has given us. It's going to make our lives much easier, and you're really going to love it. But we'll get into that a bit later. I just wanted to say at the start that at Fresco Pool there was a bit of a separation. So basically I have decided to continue on my own, and I have created a new name for my pool, which I called Garden Pool with the ticker Eden. So this is my Twitter page. And this is what the YouTube channel looks like now. So just that there's no confusion, I'm now associated with Eden, and I'm no longer associated with Fresco Pool. I have also created a new Telegram group for the Garden Pool, and as you can see, there is only one member here, and that's me. So if you want to join, you can, and as I said, no one's there yet, so you can be the first one there, and that's quite a privilege, to join a group as the first member, for any serious person. So with that being said, I think we're all ready for the actual video. So we're gonna be building stuff from scratch again, but we're gonna be using the tools. So the first thing to do is get our server up and running. So I'm going to go through building a droplet on DigitalOcean one more time. Okay, so I got my DigitalOcean page here. I'm going to create a new droplet. Let's use Ubuntu 20 this time. The 4 gigabytes of RAM setup. I'll put it in London. I'll select my SSH keys and call it Shelley Mainnet Candidate this time. That should all work. So that's going to take some time to set up. I'm just going to open PuTTY in the meantime. So from before, I have my setup saved here. So the only thing I need to do is change the IP address as we created a different droplet, so it's going to have a different address. So once this is done creating, we'll be able to connect to the server and do the initial updates, and then move on to building stuff. So here's the new IP. I'm gonna load that, open, I trust the connection, and there we go, we're in. So I'm gonna have the notepad in the top right as before, and so we'll update the system can be the first thing we do. So we're gonna run sudo apt get update. It's gonna get some stuff for us, and then after that we'll run sudo apt get upgrade. Go, let's say yes. Let this thing update. Okay, in the meantime we can look at the so this is the web page for the Cardano community GitHub. All the good stuff that we're going to use is here, so I'm going to put it in the description below for you guys. There's a lot more stuff here than we're going to use. So I invite you to check it all out. First of all, we will need to run some prerequisites. So it's very straightforward, this stuff. It's just you follow the code. You can basically copy everything and just follow along. Oh, okay, so we have something different here. Let's see the differences. Yes, without password. Okay, permit root login without password is what we have. So we'll just keep the local version currently installed. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to create this temporary folder. From there we're going to get the prerequisite script that's going to run and install all the stuff that we'll need. It's going to set up GHC, Cabal and stuff like that we did manually. We're going to source the bash RC like we did before. And then there's this little caveat that this is configured to connect to the guild network, which is like guild operators network, and we want to connect to the mainnet Shelley. So we'll have to get the Genesis files for mainnet candidate for Shelley and Byron and the topology as well. So we'll just execute this command to download those two. Yeah, after that, this is the folder structure that the script creates. So this opt Cardano C-node is going to be our C-node home variable that's going to be stored as the path. So we're going to use that. We basically don't need to worry about this at all. The scripts do everything for us. This is for the script, so it knows where to look for stuff, and we can just use the variables for the C-node home. So for example here, we just tell it to go to C-node home, files, Byron Genesis, download this file and name it this way. All right, so this is done. This is done updating, so we can get the prerequisite script. So first, let's create this folder and go and change the directory into that TMP folder and put the prerequisite script in there. We need to chmod to allow it to be executable, and yeah, we can just run it. Yeah, sorry, let me copy that. So we get the file, we make it executable, and then we run it from the folder we're currently in, the prerequisite script. Now this is gonna take some time because it's installing all the stuff, so not that long, but I'll just fast forward it in the video. Okay, that's all done for us now. So that's pretty much the prerequisites done, and we can move on to getting our Cardano-node stuff up, the CLI and all that stuff. So before we move on, let's just source our bash RC to be able to use all the commands that we just installed. And let's download the Genesis and topology files that I mentioned before to be able to connect to the, so this is now get Genesis topology for mainnet candidate. And so yeah, let's download those 3 files. 1, 2, 3. And yeah, there we go. So now we can move on to building the node. Cloning the Cardano-node GitHub repository. This folder Git is created for us already, I think, from the prerequisite script. So if we ls here, you see in the root directory we have Git. So we'll just clone the repository, and I can copy it here. Clone Cardano-node repository, and we'll jump into that folder, and here we see we got all the stuff. So what we have to do is we need to fetch all the tags. Right, so where's my notepad? Fetch tags. So we'll get that, and now we can so here it says, you know, check out release 1.14x, but we know we are looking for 1.14 1.15, sorry. So if we go git tags, sorry, I mean git tag list, yes, git tag list, tag L. So now we see 1.15.1 here. So we're gonna, so this code is a little bit different. So in the CNTools they list this, so check out, but it's not release, it's tags 1.15.1. I think that should work. Yes, there we go. Now we're in 1.15. So that's all good. We need to do this thing to make sure we got the libsodium. I think this writes to Cabal to download the libsodium to for running. So if we go to the project local that we created, it's gonna be here, and that should be fine when we run the build all script. So this is, now we're going to build the Cardano node, like compile all the code and build it like we did before, the stuff that took like 30 minutes or something, and it's going to take that long now. So build the node. Okay, we're gonna run the script to do that. And yeah, this is going to take some time again, so I'm gonna fast forward it until it's done, but I'll leave the display on so you can see the progress. So that's the node built for us, and we can verify that we got the right thing installed. So if we do Cardano CLI version, we get 1.15.1. That's what we wanted, and Cardano-node is just, it tells us how to use it, so it means it's there. So that's all good and built up, and the next thing to do is to get to the real beautiful part of the scripts. So let's do that. So CNTools can do a lot of things for us, a lot of the low-level stuff, and but if you remember from the previous video, what do we need to register as stake pool? We need some kind of an address to get the pledge from. We need to create the transaction, register the stake address and all that, then create this registration certificate, and now we don't have to do any of that manually. We can just run the script. So by running the prerequisites, we already have the scripts, and we can see them in the script the directory. So if we go to, so let's add here, check the scripts, and if we just go to if we just go to our Cardano-node home directory, ls here, we see database, files, logs, private for private keys, scripts, and sockets. Okay, so let's go into scripts. And here we got all the scripts. And the best thing to do is, let's clear this and run from this folder. We're gonna run, I forgot, CNTools.sh. And the first thing it's going to tell us is that we don't have a passive node running, so it can't query the protocol and stuff. But that's fine for now. Let's just create an address. So some of the functionality from the scripts can be used offline. For most of it, you do need a well-synced node. But let's just create our address now. Okay, so the first thing it says, there's a new version up, so let's definitely update that. Here is the interface. It's very easy to navigate, so navigate with the arrow keys. It's really beautiful stuff that they've built. So let's do update, and we see breaking changes made to CNTools. Please back up your wallet, back up your pool, and then run the below. So we don't need to back that up because we haven't created anything yet, but we will run this as that's what it tells us to do. So we can quit here, and we can update CNTools. Yep. Okay, that looks good. So let's clear that again, and let's try to run CNTools.sh again. And if we continue, that's fine. Now we don't get the update warning, so and the version is 3.00, so that's fine. So let's see what's under the wallet. We got new, we got list, show, remove, decrypt, encrypt. We got the descriptions for all the functions up here. It's very easy to follow. So let's just create a new wallet, and let's call it Kobe. We got Kobe, our wallet, we got our address. I'm just gonna copy that here. I don't think we need the enterprise, but we're not a, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna copy our, so wallet, Kobe address. Okay, I copy that. Great, we got our wallet now, and now we need to get some funds into it, because if you remember, we need we need to pay a fee to register a pool. So how do we get funds? Usually we use the faucet, if you remember on the previous releases, but at the moment faucet is not available on 1.15.1. So depending on when you're watching this, you know, it might be available and you can just request it from the faucet. But at the moment, the only way to get funds is to have someone send them to you. So I'm hoping that our great Telegram community will send some funds to my address so that I can continue. So let's try doing that now. So we're on the Telegram work group. Dear Cardanians, I am trying to build a stake pool on 1.15.1 and am in need of some testnet data to proceed. Can someone please send some data to my address, which is going to be this. And now we have to wait a little bit. I'm fairly confident that someone will send us. Just 1,000 ADA is enough. So while we are waiting for that, we can go to the CNTools and let's start a passive node to have it run in the background. I just pressed Q there as a shortcut for quit. And open our multiplexer, and we can split windows and have our relay or passive node on the left. So start a passive node. This will allow us to use all the commands from CNTools. So right here it says port 5001, but we'll use the convention we used in the previous video, which is 3001 for relay, 3000 for the producer. So we'll do that, and yeah, before we do that, let's open up some ports. And as we talked about in DigitalOcean, everything is allowed until you disable it. So not even so, if we do sudo ufv status, we'll see that it's inactive, right? So if we enable it, it might throw off our SSH connection. So first we'll do sudo ufv allow protocol TCP from any to any on port 22. So that's the SSH, that's fine. And then we're gonna allow 3001 and we're gonna allow 3000, and that's fine. Now we do sudo ufv enable, I think. Yeah, it might interrupt, but we're confident that it won't. Great, firewall is now active. So let's start our passive node in our multiplexer. Actually, let's start on the right side because that's what we did before. There we go, syncing already. That looks good here. And yeah, now we have to wait for some funds to continue on with registering a stake pool, which is going to be great. And I hear some notification, which might mean that someone joined the Telegram group, and that means Andrew P. Congratulations, you're the first one to join. I'm sorry everyone else, the video hasn't even ended and this guy's already in. What a character. Okay, so now we just have to wait to get some funds, and then we can move on. So actually, while we're waiting for that, let's configure our topology files for the two different nodes, the producer and the relay. So if we look at the setup, we got the topology file in the CNode home files topology JSON. So let's go there, and so we see the CNode home. We go to files, and we got topology JSON Genesis and all that. So let's copy topology. Actually, let's rename topology JSON. Topology JSON, and we'll name it to topology relay.json. We use mv move command for that. Specify which file we want to rename and to what we want to rename it. And so yeah, we got that now, and let's copy topology relay. So we copy the contents, and we'll say copy it to a file called topology producer.json. Cool. So now let's edit them. So topology, let's edit the relay first. So we got it's connected to the relays from the Cardano network. So we'll need to add our own a producer node here. So we will add a new node. So we'll use the address, and we're gonna have our IP address here. So we'll copy that in here. Good. And we'll use the port. So this is the relay node, which runs on 3001 and connects to the producer, which is on 3000. Yeah, that's fine. And valency will be 1 as we connect to one node. And that's it. We save that. Yes. And we now configure the producer JSON. And we're just going to replace the address with our address. It's probably not copied anymore. So we'll copy that in. And port 3001. So this is the producer. Producer runs on 3000, which means it needs to connect to 3001. So this is fine. Valency 1, and save that. Yes, and that should be okay for the files. So let's go back one folder. Let's go into scripts again, and we're here. Let's clear that, and let's check if someone sent us some funds. And there it is, David from Onyx Stake Pool. Big shout out to David for sending some funds to me for setting up the stake pool. You can check out his website on onyxstakepool.com. Seems like a good guy. So yeah, thanks again, David. All right, so we got that. We got the funds. So let's see our wallet. If we list the wallet, we see 1000 ADA, and that's good. We can continue now. Let's just say thank you very much, David. And yeah, that's fine. We are now ready to register the stake pool. So let's go to our scripts folder, and from this folder directory we're gonna run CNTools.sh, and we have our wallet. So we'll go to pool, and I'm gonna create a new pool, and it's gonna ask for a pool name, and I'm gonna call mine garden pool, and we'll get our public pool key. So this is our public pool key. That's that, and now we created a pool. Now we're gonna register it. We go again to pool and then register. Now this is going to take some time, but I hope you can see the power of these scripts. I mean, we're just selecting options from the interface, while before we had to run every single command from the command line, and every transaction, you know, calculate the fees, blah blah blah. I mean, this is just amazing. So we select our pool we just created, we get the pledge, and you know, we don't have a lot of funds here. We have 1,000 ADA. So the pool deposit fee is 500 ADA. So we have a maximum of 500 for the pledge. So I'll use 400 to be sure that something doesn't go wrong. Like, you know, the transaction has a fee. It's very small, but still 400. Margin, I'll just use the default 7.5. Cost, I'll use the default 256. And now we fill in the metadata. So pool's name, garden pool. Pool ticker, Eden. Pool description, Cardano Paradise. Pool's homepage, https gardenpool.com. This is mine. And yeah, the JSON URL. So CNTools asks us kindly to upload our pool meta JSON to our website. So I'll do that in. So I'll give my website, and then I'll upload it to pool. Is it pool meta.json? Okay. We'll do that, and they want us to upload this file there, so we'll do that. Pool meta.json is this, and the relay registration. So we'll use the IP4 address because I don't have a DNS configured right now. So we enter our server address because our nodes are on the same stuff. So which port, which is the relay port? Who remembers? Well, we can check our notepad and we see we run the relay on 3001. So 3001. Any more IPv4 entries? No. Select pledge wallet. It's going to be Kobe, and there we go. It's now waiting to create a new block, and then at that point it's going to register a pool. And there we go. New block was created. Pool garden pool successful register using the wallet Kobe for pledge. Pledge is 400. Margin is 7.5. Cost is 256. And start Cardano-node with the following run arguments: Shelley Cas key, Shelley VRF key, operational certificate. Excellent stuff. We can copy this, although I don't think we will need it exactly, but it's going to be producer arguments. So that should be it, guys. We have registered our stake pool, and now we can we just need to start our nodes. So if we go to setup node as pool operator, we can see that this is what we ran before here to start a passive node. I'll just copy it down here again. So we'll change one thing, and that's topology relay, right? We edited JSON files to have two relays on the same server because that's what we're doing. And port 3001 for the relay, and it's using this database, CNode home, and that's fine. We can just go to tmux and kill it. Okay, async cancel, clear that, copy this in, Sometimes TMX goes crazy and it's just showing this. I just copied the command, this one, and it's showing as this, so it's not showing anything, but it's there. So if I press enter, it's gonna work. So that's fine. You see it read from the database, and if we press peers, we got the relays connected, so that seems to work. And now for the producer node, we have this code, and this is very good, but we need to make some changes. So first of all, we see the pool's key path, and we see this variable pool name, which is used here, but it's not defined. So we will define it, pool name, and you know, my pool name is garden pool. So now that should be fine, and config is fine. Database, so the relay node is using this database. That means the producer has to use a different database, so we'll have to make a copy of that database. So it's going to be on port 3000, but let's take care of the database first, actually. So let's clear this. We are in the Cardano-node folder, and here is the database. So let's just copy recursively database to database. I'll just call it database 1. Okay, so now we have two databases, and we copied the contents from the other one. So let's set the producer node to use database 1. Port 3000, that's fine. The node socket, we're gonna, so we have to create another one for another node. So it's going to be node 1.socket, and the topology we named producer.json, and this is all fine. The cas key is under the pool name. We define the pool name here, garden pool. Operational certificate pool name, that's all good. And let's run all that here. And there we go. And it should show us, yeah, there we go. Peers 1, it's connected to our relay, to our 178 relay. That's our IP, and that's good. And now the third peer is showing on the relay node as well, and there we go, we're all connected. And that's it. That's starting the nodes. We registered the pool, we started the nodes, so now we can check if our pool is showing, and I mean we already know that it is, but let's do it anyway. So to show you some more cool stuff from CNTools, we can go to pool and then show and garden pool, and this is gonna take some time again, but it's gonna give us the information about our pool. And another way to check is to use the pool tool, or ADA pools, or stuff like that show all the registered pools on the network. So yeah, here's all our information that we registered with, and we can take our pool ID and we go to htn.pooltool.io. Now I'm already logged in here, and if I search for our pool here, we can go to more actions for this pool, and hope we can claim it here. We go to manage and we press claim this pool, and we pool name garden pool, pool URL https garden/pool.com, not slash, I mean dash. Yeah, we still need to upload this. And okay, I mean, this is fine for now. This is like if you want to give it peer-to-peer discovery to help the network, and you should. I will later, but now I think we did what we wanted to do. We started the pool, and it's registered, and it's there, and it's on the mainnet Shelley candidate. So great stuff. CNTools. So there you go. That's how to set up and register a stake pool on the Shelley Mainnet network, Shelley Mainnet Candidate Network, using CNTools. I think the only thing left to do is to give a lot of credit to the people who have made this possible, made these tools possible for us to use. And here they are: Marcus, Paul, OCG, Red Oracle, Papa Carp, Berger01, also known as Homer J, Ola, Smugpool, Seichomb, Pegasus Pool, Matisse, and Marek. Really, thank you to all of you for doing this, and I hope you will continue to make positive contributions to Cardano. And yeah, there you go, guys. I hope you'll have a good time setting up your pools using these tools. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.